Many people would consider the Christ self as something that is above you, in a way, that you are the human you, and then you have the Christ self above you, being superior or being purer, and so it is not so. It is simply a representation of the states of yourself. Okay, so in that sense, you can understand the Christ self perhaps as a way of understanding consciousness. So when you are, for example, in the what many people call the ego-based consciousness, say that you experience life being just a tiny circle, right? But when your consciousness expands, because you are in the path of it, of that consciousness expanding and that consciousness awakening to his own nature, then your consciousness goes, your awareness and your sense of being goes from being a tiny circle to be, let's say, in a bigger circle, where it is just more awareness of the vastness of consciousness, right? Then you get to a point in which you start experiencing that the Christ self is something like a type of, let's say, a modality of consciousness in which you don't experience yourself and you don't experience life and you don't experience the world from the tiny little dot, but from a wider perspective in which all of the things are comprehended within, right? And then in that consciousness, in that self, there is just simply not what there is in the ego-based consciousness life, which is fear, insecurity, lack, and despair, and so on. But what you have in that level of consciousness is simply love, light, forgiveness, magic, all of the beautiful things that you can imagine of. They are then in that level of consciousness, and that level of consciousness, you are to that consciousness already. It's just that in some cases you are simply not aware of it, and in other cases you are aware of it, but perhaps you don't see it from the standpoint of consciousness. So basically, what I'm going to say about how the Christ self can help you to be unleashing your personal natural wealth comes in the next short